This is the GVM SD 150R, a budget video light that has RGB capabilities. But is it worth it? Let's find out. The headlight feature of this light is the RGB modes, meaning that you can choose any color at any time without the need of spending time changing out gels. This is perfect for those times when you enter in a less than ideal, rather boring looking location. With an RGB light, you can add a little splash of color, changing the overall mood within an instant. The added benefit of the SD150R is the Bones mount, meaning you take a range of different Bones mount accessories like this reflector, put that on front of your light, changing the overall light. So you're now modifying your light to have further control of what your light is doing. This is an advantage over the panel style of RGB lights, which are softer and have a wider spread of light. With this COB style of light, it's much easier to control and modify your light. And if you decide you want a soft light, well, you can simply attach a softbox onto the front of it and boom, nice, colorful, soft lighting. The GVM SD150R comes in a kit with accessories such as a light stand, a softbox, and a carrying case for the light. Speaking of which, the case itself is a soft but rigid design, and it's fairly small, making it really easy to travel with. Open it up, we'll find the light itself, a reflector, an extra long power cord, and a strap to hold the power brick to the light stand. Now there is this tiny plastic dome they call a diffuser that simply switches onto the front of the LED light. Now, I do not recommend this method at all because, frankly, these LEDs do build up heat. And with this on, there's no way for the heat to escape out the front if it needs to. So if you have this on 100% output for long periods of time, this could potentially damage your LED light. So I don't really recommend using this on your light. Taking a look at build quality, this light is mostly made of plastic. There is a little bit of metal on the top and on the bottom, which do get hot when this light is on for a good amount of time. So I would only recommend touching the plastic handle and the bits if you need to handle this light. Other than that, the tightening knobs and on the yoke are all very sturdy. The Bones mount reflectors all attaches very smoothly. Overall, I think this light is going to hold up if you take good care of it. The operation of this light is pretty simple. On this adjusting knob, you can change the brightness, click it in, and you can adjust the color temperature. Hold that down, and we jump into the hue saturation mode, so we can change the brightness there. Click it in. We can change the hue, click it again, and we can change the saturation of that color temperature. Hold it down one more time, and we enter effects mode. So right now we got like this party mode on the back, and there's different settings to choose from. That's pretty much how you control settings on the back of the light itself. Now there is an app which you can download from GVM, and this one's pretty intuitive. You control the brightness, the different color temperatures, turning it on and off. There is an HSI mode, so this is very intuitive to figure out which color exactly you want, the brightness of that, and the saturation. So I feel like this is a much easier, more friendly way to control and figure out which color you want, rather than trying to go off the back of the light here. So if you can hear, there is some fan noise coming from this light, and unfortunately there's no settings for controlling the speed of the fans. So if you do require having a silent mode in your light, then I'll probably look somewhere else. Other than that, I think for most scenarios, myself included, fan noise coming from a light is typically the least of my worries when it comes to loud noises on set. To get a sense of how bright this light is, I took exposure readings with the bare LED at 6 feet away and measured for middle gray on my A7S III. At 2700 Kelvin, I got an exposure of f4, and the light seems to get brighter towards the middle of the color temperature range, which I found to be around 5100 Kelvin, giving me an f6.3. Going past this, the light drops in output down to f5 at 7500 Kelvin. Adding the included reflector brings the brightness up by 2 2/3 stop. However, this does change the spread of light and creates a very hot spot in the center. Attaching the included softbox nicely softens the light and only dims the output by roughly 1 stop. Diving into color quality, I found overall that the color temperature scale was off by roughly 1000 degrees Kelvin. So overall, the light is feeling much too warm. Now, just to get an idea on how off the white balance actually is, I did a custom white balance, and if you were to set your camera to 5600 Kelvin, then you would need to offset this light to 7300 degrees Kelvin. Now, every camera is going to interpret white balance a little bit differently, but even to my native eye, I can tell that this light is much too warm for the proper white balance. So if you are going to use this light as more of a traditional light, I would recommend definitely taking a proper white balance from a gray card. The biggest thing that GVM could do to improve this light is to fix that color temperature scale. I see this being a problem for those who are looking at this kit as their potential first light, and they wouldn't know the difference to offset the white balance, so their colors are going to be much too warm. If they do come out with this fix and it seems to be pretty good, then I would really recommend this as a good versatile light, as about everything that you need, and at this price point, there's really nothing quite like it. For now, I'm going to treat this light as an RGB only light. I can use it to color my backgrounds, even a hair light, and all of that I can do with this little guy, and that's pretty sweet. That's it for this video. If you guys are interested in this light, there will be a link in the description down below. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.